We're talking Shohei Ohtani. Should he get traded at the deadline? Should the Angels move him, or should they keep him and take the risk, try to re-sign him in the offseason? This team is 8 games back of the Texas Rangers for first place in the AL West. They're 6 games back of the wild card game with the Toronto Blue Jays. This team's a mess right now, bro. This team's a mess. The Angels have they've always been that team that they have talent. They just spend all their money and bring the superstars in, but they never can mesh and get it done. GM Perry Manasian said the team's position was self-explanatory. This is back when they were 41-34. This is when they talked to him about trading Ohtani at the deadline. He said the team's position was self-explanatory. 7 games over 500. Now they've gone 4-13 in that stretch. The last 17 games. Trout is going to be out 4 to 8 weeks. Ohtani is the last good piece of this Angels team, like he's been the last few years. Let's say he gets traded at the deadline. I got 3 teams that I've been sniffing out, right? The Los Angeles Dodgers. According to MLB.com, they got the 2nd best farm system in the MLB. This team, there would be no stopping this team. If Ohtani gets traded to the Dodgers, there's no stopping this team. It's just insane what they've been able to do. So I got them at number 1. They're the most likely team. Just not only the assets, but because Ohtani then gets to stay in Los Angeles. He doesn't have to move. There's been, I don't know if these are true, but apparently he likes the West Coast because it's a shorter flight to Japan. I don't know if that's true or not because he's from Japan. I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't be totally shocked if that was the case of why he wants to stay on the West Coast. So going back to a team in California with the Los Angeles Dodgers would make sense. The second team that I got, the Baltimore Orioles, a surprising team right now in the MLB. They're a little bit ahead of schedule. They have the number 1 farm system in the league according to MLB.com. They could offer their first round pick last year in Jackson Holiday, a guy who just moved up to Double-A this year. I believe he's hitting 330 something, maybe 320. He's hitting in the threes, man. And he's playing very, very good. He most definitely would be a piece that's thrown into a deal for Ohtani. But I can see him going to Baltimore, man. I mean, this is a team that, they're in a very, very, in the AL East, this is a very good division. So many solid teams with the Rays and, the Red Sox are starting to shine a little bit. There's a lot of good teams in this division, but Baltimore is right up there with Tampa Bay. And if they add a guy like Ohtani, it's over, man. They'll most likely take the division in these final 70 games, 80 games. They will most definitely overtake Tampa Bay. And if they want to win that division, they want to make a serious threat in the American League, in this deep American League. They're going to have to make a move like that. Go move some of these prospects that you have, these first-round picks that you've been stacking up because you've been bad the last few years, and finally put it all together and bring in a guy like Ohtani and then re-sign him as well when you make a trade for him. So I could see him going to Baltimore. Another team that I could see him going to, staying kind of on not the West Coast, but in the West, the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is the 3rd best farm system in the MLB. Another competing team, another surprising team out of the NL West, fighting with the Los Angeles Dodgers for that number 1 spot in the division. And right now they might want to compete for the Ohtani sweepstakes just to make sure the Dodgers don't get him. Honestly, they might want to go out and get Ohtani just so the Dodgers don't, because the Dodgers get him, dude, that division's over. The National League is over. It is the Dodgers conference for sure. So the Diamondbacks might want to go and get, of course everybody wants Ohtani, but maybe you just go out and snatch Ohtani just because the Dodgers can't have him then, and then you can most definitely win that NL West. I don't know if that's something that you do, but you just want to make sure, if you're the Arizona Diamondbacks right now, that the Dodgers do not get Shohei Ohtani, because if they do, you're done. You're done if you're the Arizona Diamondbacks. But we'll see. Most likely I see him going to the Dodgers just because it all makes sense, and the Dodgers just know how to bring in those stars, baby. They just know how to just seduce you into coming to LA, man. And Ohtani, again, hometown-ish. He's played in LA, Anaheim his whole career, so he maybe wants to stay. He's got friends there. He's got a house there. He's got, familiar territory. He might want to stay in Southern California. I don't know. You gotta end this. You gotta rebuild. You gotta bring in these young prospects, and you have to make a different culture, because this culture in Anaheim right now is awful. You brought in Anthony Rondon, which, is he even playing for them anymore? Mike Trout, when has he stayed on the field longer than 2 minutes? And then Shohei has been the most consistent, and he left his last 2 pitching starts because of injury, and I have a feeling maybe it has something to do with injury, but I also think he's kind of getting fed up. He's like, I'm the only one out here grinding, trying to get these wins, and I'm sick of it. So I want to be moved at the deadline. That might be him. I want out. Trade me at the deadline. And if I am the ownership group and the GM of the Los Angeles Angels, I'm going to get that request done for him, because I'm trying to get something back, because I do not want him walking in the winter. Most likely they're going to keep him. They probably will end up keeping him, just because it's like, again, I mean, they've even come out and said, I don't want to be the one to trade Ohtani, but you're gonna look like a Dumbo if you end up keeping him. You don't make the playoffs. You end up just kind of limping into the offseason, and then he ends up walking to another team. Like, it just wouldn't make any sense for you to then keep him when you could have gotten a guy like Jackson Holiday from Baltimore, or the Dodgers have some good pitchers that you could get. Like, there's just so many guys that you could bring back and you could start fresh there on the Angels. But you know what? We will see what happens with Shohei Ohtani. Trade deadline is in about 2 weeks. It's coming up fast. We'll see what management does. Hey, maybe he comes to the Cubbies, baby. Oh, man, if the Cubs get him, bro. Oh, damn, dude. They ain't going to get him, though. They ain't going to get him. Hey, man, we could give up Pete Crow Armstrong, bro. We could give up a lot for him. I'd give up everybody for him, man. Dude, him and Suzuki together, man. Get that Asian squad, baby. Get that Japan squad up in there. But we'll see what happens, though. Shohei Ohtani, will he be an Angel by August 2nd? We'll find out. This has been BookSmart, and I'll talk to you guys later.